Reverend Zachariah Jackson from the church of what's happening now. We're in the community again. You know, we were out Sunday at a political forum that the NAACP put on in Plainfield, New Jersey. And today we're out with, again, introduce yourself to people.
Diane Toliver. I'll be running for the 1st Ward City Council, Plainfield, New Jersey.
I think that the feedback that I'm getting is people want to know what inspired you to run, because we've seen you work at the polls so many times. When I seen you the other day, I didn't know. I said, wait a minute, should I vote or what? But it was a good change, you know, to see you there, and then because I thought you was just a spectator. I had no idea.
Yeah,
I couldn't put it. You know what I did? I actually put your husband in your name, because I didn't even look at the Diane.
Okay.
I just said Toliver. I know Mr. Toliver.
Yes,
I know, you
yes.
know. So I said, I guess so when he came in, and I said, okay, I guess he's going to be on the panel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I actually took pictures of every one of y'all names too. You know what I mean? But I just went there on that. So what is it that inspired you to run?
What's inspiring me is the city that I grew up in.
Okay.
I see my city is not what it used to be. The city has changed, and I don't see the change as being a good change.
Okay.
I look at our youth, for instance. Our youth is our future.
Yes.
And we are the village right now, but they'll be the village later.
They're going to be very soon, later, 5 years from now.
And I want to see
Folks
the
will be
opportunities that I had to become an entrepreneur. I own my own business for 27 years.
Yes.
I own and operate. And I want to see them have some of the same opportunities that I had. You know, Plainfield is a beautiful city to live in. It's prosperous. I'm a proud product of Plainfield.
Sure.
And I've taken notice that the young youth can't find jobs.
Yes.
I was speaking to someone yesterday, and they asked us while we were out campaigning, could we find them a job? And you know, we just went into a little bit explaining to them how the economy is not bouncing back as fast as the president wants it to.
Sure.
And that there are loads of people that are laid off and they can't even find a job. But what we did was we encouraged the young man to try to take advantage of some of the grants that the president has made available for them to go to school. When the opportunity does come and arise, then you'll have the education behind you, possibly to get some jobs. The next thing is, I see how a lot of companies have left Plainfield.
Sure.
Back when I was younger, South Avenue, North Avenue, Front Street, to just name a few, had a lot of ratables.
Yeah.
Not only were these companies there, they were flourishing, they were making money, they were doing business with our city and outside cities. They also hired a vast amount of the residents and gave them jobs. Now we see that a lot of these companies have left Plainfield. And we also had a bank on every corner.
Yeah.
These are the things that we need to bring back into our city. We're going to take our city back. Plainfield is going to be the Queen City again.
So we won't say queen in terms of AKA?
No.
Because who put that out?
I know.
AKA queen. I said, wait a minute now.
You know, I think that statement
harm.
came from because we used to have a bank on every corner in the city.
Yeah.
How many cities do you know have a bank anchored?
Yeah, that's true.
An anchored bank with money in it, flourishing.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the name came from, Queen City, because the city was very rich and very viable, and it can be that way again.
Well, Plainfield is a good city.
Absolutely.
I refer to it often if you looked at in many of my interviews, as a suburban city.
Yes.
Unlike a big city like New Jersey or
Yes.
whatever, but it's more suburban. What approach are we going to use? Because again, today we have the internet. That's so 5 years ago, 6 years ago, when I was running around with the camera, trying to video people, which I did, and they didn't know what I was doing.
Exactly.
I was boosting them to YouTube, up to YouTube, and now we got the YouTube going. We got Twitter, Facebook, and this, that, and that. So what could we actually do to bring jobs back? And are we caught up in our age group with the younger people in terms of the internet?
Well, you know what? First, we've got to find companies that show a real interest in our city. Okay. Not only for their own self-gain and their own finances, but to show an interest where they are willing to come in and employ the residents of the city.
Okay.
And bring in monies that will stay in the city. Right now we have a lot of small businesses here, but the money's going out just as fast as it's coming in.
Sure.
So a city that can't capitalize on the businesses that's there is a falling city.
Is there a way of bringing a major, and I don't want to knock the supermarkets that have been a puller in this community and everything, but is there a way to bring a major supermarket here? You know, a ShopRite or a Pathmark or something like that?
Well, you know what has happened over a period of time? You have had the Pathmarks and the food towns, but
Sure.
now you have the small, everywhere you look, you have a small entity of
Sure.
a smaller store.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have the malls. Then you have the Walmarts where people, so the Targets and the Walmarts have
Which
taken
are
over.
outside of Plainfield, though. I'm talking about to bring them back into the.
Well, even if you tried to bring something like that back into the city directly, people shop in the malls, they shop outside.
Sure.
So it's one-stop shopping. When you go to Walmart and to Target and places alike, these places is where people can do one-stop shopping.
Sure.
But that's a great idea. If we could integrate something like a shopping center that house a supermarket,
Sure.
house like a little small mall or something, that would be great for the city of Plainfield, where people could do one-stop shopping. But we do have some supermarkets around where we see residents do take advantage of that.
Oh, okay. And they're actually working in there.
They're actually
Oh,
working in
okay.
some of those places, and they're assets to, they're close by for the senior citizens.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Supremo's downtown, for instance, is a great asset to the city.
Sure.
Because the senior citizens can walk downtown. They don't have to worry about, I gotta get a bus, or I gotta get a ride, and that's right in the community of Plainfield.
Sure.
So, those are some of the things. We need to bring the ratables back. We gotta bring these companies back to help offset the
And what will we do to offer a suggestion that they should come back? Is there anything that we can give back to them? Or that?
Well, first of all, we can give them a low percentage on their taxes
Sure.
that they have to pay to the city. Also, I think it should be implemented that, the contracts, when these companies come back in and they have a certain amount of time that they're gonna do business with our city, I also feel like there should be implemented into them coming back in and getting this low tax rate, that they hire the residents in the city,
Sure,
as I said
sure.
before. And that will help the youngsters that's out there that's unemployed. But we've got to find companies that find an interest in our city.
Sure.
And there's many reasons for them to find an interest.
Sure,
There's plenty
sure.
big buildings that's empty, plenty of parking.
Mhm.
That's one of the first things that companies are looking for. They look for size and they look for parking.
Sure.
Mhm.
Well, what I've seen the past 18 months is I've went around to a lot of the little, I don't call them small, but the supermarkets here, Supremos, and they have taken on a remodeling thing. They have
Yes.
remodeled their place. It's
Mhm.
not like it used to be.
Right.
So they're on a major line now. They're
Exactly.
running a major. So Plainfield is a
But that's
comeback kid city.
For an example, North Avenue, South Avenue. We're looking into the future of upgrading South Avenue, North Avenue. We've got 3 rail systems there, and people come in and out of different
Sure.
towns. We want to make those areas inviting for other people, not only to come into our town and do business, but to come here and consider starting up a business.
Last night I looked at it, and I actually sent you a link to it. I sent you a text. I looked at a whole interview I did back in, I believe it was 2009. And I mentioned about years ago that we were on the West End, on that West End area from South, I think,
South.
Park Avenue. Is that Park Avenue there? All the way down to Grand Avenue.
Yes.
That big field. And everybody was talking about developing that, and it just like fell under, so.
Well, sometimes the best ideas are not the greatest ideas.
Sure,
The greatest ideas, they flourish and they grow.
Yeah.
Because you've got to take hold to a goal, and you've got to reach, and you've got to do something with it. But it still gets down to bringing in developers that have money and that are not afraid to take a chance and to help to redevelop our city.
And we really need people in office that care
Yes.
and everything. And have you reached out to the kids and things of that nature?
I reach out to the youth all the time. I'm a mentor to youth. I mentor them every opportunity I get about what it is to be an entrepreneur, what it is to be a business owner. I'm a business owner of 27 years, so I have a lot of experience at that. I talked with young that say they want to become entrepreneurs, and I give them the ins and the outs.
Sure.
And I always tell them it's a challenge, but anything that's not a challenge is not worth having.
Okay.
And I also allow them to know that they can come to me at any time, and I'm always here.
Okay.
So I believe in the village. It takes a village to raise ours. It took a village to raise me.
Yes, yes.
And
yes,
if they did it for
but
me,
that
we
village
can
has
do it
kind
for
of
them.
went away, you know. We got to bring that village.
We got to bring
gotta
that village
reinstate
back.
the village, you
That's
know
right,
what I mean?
that's right.
To bring it back and everything. Okay, who's running on your ticket on your line?
My team is Cory Booker's at the head of the line. He's running for Senate again for himself. Bonnie Watson Coleman is running for Congress.
Okay.
Then you've got a line of freeholders. And then I'm running for council.
Okay.
And then we have Charles Ecke. He's running over in the 2nd and 3rd ward.
Okay.
And Gloria Taylor, she's running for re-election in the 3rd ward.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes. Which we all met the other day, the NACP
Yes.
function and everything.
Absolutely.
All right, and what line should they vote for? Give them the information.
Line A all the way.
Is there any way of contacting you that they should know that public, because the public's going to see this within about 5 hours? Is there any way if someone wanted to reach out to you, if you have a Facebook or something like that, they can reach out to you on?
That's being set up as I speak.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay. Which we befriend each other on Facebook,
Yes,
there, so you
yes.
do have the Facebook.
Right.
Okay, well, you heard Ms. Toliver talk, and she's serious about helping to redevelop Plainfield and work with the young. You know, so many times we have people that's in it for themselves, that they just want the mark of being the next person in the political scene. But here we have someone that cares, that really mentors and is out there working with the people. And I think that it's a new mood going on, a new mood. I feel a new
Yeah.
thing. I was
New
up in Newark,
resolution.
up in Newark the last night with the new mayor, Ras Baraka and everything,
Yes.
and they welcomed them in and everything. And you could feel a different spirit of the people.
Exactly.
You know, but the younger people, but they still need
Guidance.
a little guidance.
They
and
need
things.
guidance.
They need it, yes. They
And
need
that's
that.
what we're here for.
And you know,
is to redirect.
and the strange thing is that today, it's like they want it again.
Exactly.
So that's a good thing.
They want to be part of.
They want to be part
And
of
we're
it.
bringing them in.
Bring them in.
That's right.
Okay, well, thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right. Okay, this is Reverend Zachariah Jackson from the church. Oh, what's happening now? Good afternoon. Bye-bye.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, sir.